We are live. According to this, we are live, and we got Eastern Hot Rodder John. He's spinning. He's down here in the left corner. But anyway, we got Sean, Fat Tire Guy Thomas. Tell us about you, man. Tell us about your channel. What's going on?
Mine's got to be the boringest channel on YouTube.
Promote it, man. Everybody's listening. Yeah, we can't wait.
But I'm at a standstill right now until I guess probably midweek on my satellite build with the bell housing that I got. It was for the small bearing, and I figured with my transmission, I talked to the guy that originally put the transmission in my car, and he said it was a 23 spline, but it's out of a 70. And it's got the small shaft, but the big bearing in it. And they did that in 70. But anyway, the bell housings, it's I can't remember the exact. I think it's 4.80 is what that bearing measures. And anyway, the bell housing, the hole where the bearing goes up, where the I guess the carrier bearing goes into.
Right.
It was too small and the transmission wouldn't go in. So I got to pull the bell housing back out of it. And I've got a new one coming. That was, that's what you want to buy at Christmas is bell housings.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I've got one laying around here somewhere if I can find it.
Yeah. And it's the new one, I got the brand new one for the exact same price as what I paid for the used one. So yeah, I guess, but whenever I bought it, it was whenever COVID was real big. They didn't nobody have no new ones in stock, and so I just had to pay even though it was the wrong one. But that's how it goes.
That's aggravating. Yeah, aggravating. What about you, Copperhead Customs, man? You've been down there working on a Swift. Your Swift, baby.
Yeah, a little Suzuki. We did I thought I'd do something. Well, I thought I'd video out something different. That's what I used to do, rebuild them. And yeah, I was over it yesterday when I finished the car, tell you.
So how long did it take you to build that thing? I mean, actually put it back together.
I don't know. I did like a couple hours here and a couple hours there. If you added it up, probably 3 or 4 days solid.
Yeah.
That was everything. Like we pulled the interior and redid the interior and then redid the front end and we did mechanical and aircon and painting and everything. So that's good. Like it's pretty much nearly like a brand new car again.
They look good. What year model is that?
That one was an 06.
Well, now he was talking about turbo in that. You said Sean was talking about turbo in a Swift. I mean, I cannot imagine why you would want to do that, but you said people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you want to?
They have a bit of a cult following, those little Swifts down here. Yeah, so there's like a little Swift clubs and everything where they. And there's another model called a Swift Sport, right? So they have sport suspension and they have a slightly bigger motor, and they're, I don't know, 25 horsepower more or something. I don't know, but they actually go pretty good for a little car. I've had them. I've just dumped the clutch in them and smoked them through first, second into third gear.
Really?
Yeah, on those, big torque steer and.
Torque steer's fun.
They're very popular car for the girls, like they're just B-platers, they call them here. So it's it's like a provisionary license. When you first get your driving license, you're on a limited points, so you can't stuff up. So when the young girls get their first car, they're very popular for them. So
that's kind of like here in America, most of us real car guys consider Mustang for girls. That's secretary's car. All the Mustangs, you figure. Ain't that right, Stephen?
I couldn't imagine being in a Swift club. I drive a Swift. That's like up here we got Prius. You got Prius. You know what? Y'all have Prius down there?
Yeah, we got them.
I mean, they named them right because it should have been Prius. Like Prissy boy or Prissy.
The little cars are popular down here because petrol's so dear. So Yeah. But people are a bit silly. Like that little Mercedes I sold last week. That's pretty much runs on the same amount of fuel.
Right.
like it uses it very similar, but yet you're in this quality, solid Mercedes that goes 15 times faster and has heaps more creature comforts, and it's actually built like a real car, not a tin can. So
the big thing about most of the late model Mercedes is they've got so much technology it makes them unreliable. Now you take, as the one guys, I'll call them the W123, the 300 diesels and the 250 diesels. Them cars was tanks. They was bulletproof. I mean, they was million-mile cars if you just simple maintenance on them.
Right.
Yep. Well, I'm a Merc. We love our Mercs. They're our daily drivers, our Mercedeses. So we don't really have touch wood. We don't have too many issues with them. We just service them. Myself, I service them, and other than that, nothing really breaks on ours. But
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
my wife's got a Mercedes. What model is my wife's car? 97.
You've got an
It's
AMG.
08. Wait a minute, it's 08. It's 08. What is that? A 500? Yeah, it's a 500. It's got it's stupid power. It's got like 400.
Yeah, that's an AMG though.
It's a 550.
What is it?
It's a 550.
Yeah. What?
08 550.
AMG though.
ML or SL or what is it?
No, I don't know.
It's the four-door sedan car, so would it be?
Okay.
It's an AMG car.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I got it off a buddy of mine. Now we got him in.
Big one or a little one? Is it big or little?
It's little. Well, it's
So
mid-size.
It's
Similar
as big as
look
what
as
they
the one I
make
sold.
now, ain't it?
No, it's mid-size.
Okay.
It's a hoss, man. I ain't kidding you. That thing quick. Yeah, man. It's got 400. I got it off of John Denton, and he kind of special ordered the thing. He's a foreign car nut, and I think it's got 400 something horsepower. I mean,
He's got Ferraris and stuff.
It's a bad news car. I mean, it'll rock and roll. John, can you hear us, brother? No, he's.
I can now, man. It's weird. I couldn't get in on my laptop, but I'm using my phone at work.
Yeah, you're sticking a little bit. Just sticking a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like her car, but she don't let me drive it much. I drive junk. She drives all the good stuff. You know how that is.
Oh, I'm going to say something that's probably going to get you guys in trouble.
Yeah.
So last year at Christmas, the ML Mercedes, that's the four-wheel drive one that we're in, that was my car. It was my tow car. And the wife loved it. And I built my Beamer X5. So I was going to sell this. And so I made out I was selling it. And she fell in love with it. She didn't want me to sell it. But I said, no, I'm selling it. So then come Christmas, I worked on this, made out I was fixing the car to put it on the market and detailed it all. And it was looked like brand new. And then I actually wrapped it up in wrapping paper.
Oh, wow.
Wrapped it under the carport. I wrapped the whole car in wrapping paper, and then left a little bit of the windscreen and the door so I could drive it up, put it under the carport. Then I wrapped that quickly, and then on Christmas Day I gave her a box wrapped up, and inside the box she had to dig through it all. But there was the Mercedes key, and the actual the title was put in her name, and so that was her Christmas present. So yeah.
Well, you old romantic, you old romantic.
Yeah. Didn't help.
Yeah. You, John, are you there?
Kinda. I got cutting in and out real bad.
Yeah, that dang. You got what is it you got down there? Your internet connection. What is it?
I got fiber.
It should be coming through fine.
Blue Ridge fiber optic.
Well, you ought to be rocking and rolling. That's what we got.
He might have to shut his router off and turn it back on.
He's got it going on. He's got to do it. He's got to get on here. He's got all the information.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we hear you fine, but you're sticking.
See, that's what you guys are cutting in and out. I could barely hear Copperhead, and when I try to go on with the laptop, it's just black screen.
Yeah, that's what we got on this
I know,
side.
it's kind of weird. I got fiber optic too. Yeah, I got real high speed internet, but all on my phone I can see you guys, but if I try to go on the laptop, I can't see it at all.
I bet you got to reset your router or something.
Yes, you're all black screen again.
See, I can
even on the phone.
You're stuck. Try on the computer again. It broke through. Just try that again.
All right, man. I'll leave this one and I'll try again.
Yeah, just leave that one on. Go ahead. You ain't got to break down. It'll break in. It's got another link. It'll come in on that one. We'll have you all over the place here.
Two of you.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone now.
Copperhead, where are you headed to?
I don't know. The wife bought something, so we're going to pick it up.
It's probably a brand new Swift.
Yeah, I don't know. I hurt my elbow again yesterday, like working it, and it's flared up. So I was like, oh, I'll come for a drive. Not going to do anything today. So.
Yeah. Now I get my mixed up on time. What time is it down there right now? It's 6:09 here.
10 past 9.
10 past 9. Okay.
Yeah, so we're 3 hours. Well, it's like 12 hours and 3 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
12
15
hours.
hours.
15
15
hours.
hours. We're ahead at the moment. It used to be 14, but then I don't know. You must have daylight savings or something.
Yeah, we're on daylight savings time right now.
I've been watching a channel on YouTube today. What I was telling Stephen, Beard Meats Food, and this guy, he's got like 2.39 million subscribers, and he did a video last month, and it's had 3,568,000 views.
Bloody hell. We're in the wrong game doing car channels, I think.
And you ought to see, if you get time, Beard Meats Foods, but you need to see what this little feller eats. He's from England, and he travels. He's been to the U.S. and everything, but he does it in England and come to the U.S. too. But he does that like one thing I showed that he was ate 8 pounds of meat plus French fries and other stuff to go with it. And
So what's that? That's like 3-4 kilos.
yeah, and he says 128 ounces, which you do the math, that's 8 pounds, and it's just unreal. You ought to seen how much meat. And he was someplace, I watched someplace that he was in England where he ate 16 pancakes and all this stuff. And it's just a mound of food. And this guy's a little fella. He's not he's not no big guy.
Well, that's what they do. They got that thing out there in Texas where, where you can eat all that 40-ounce steak and all that stuff. And most of the people that's eat it's been, one of them was like an 89-year-old grandma, weighed like 90 pounds. She ate every bit of that, and some big old hoss like me and you come in there, we can't even get through with the biscuit.
No, I know it.
I've done a few of those big challenges, but you feel like crap for like 3 days.
That's right. How about the little guy that eats all the hot dogs, man? He's like 120-something hot dogs.
Now it's usually the Chinese guys or Japanese that does that wins the hot dog eating contest.
I can see John now. I don't know if he can hear us or not, but internet it works when you want.
He's still glitching.
Yeah, he's sticking. I like that. He's sticking.
He's gone.
But see, the one thing that I did
magic. He was there and then he was gone. Boom.
Yep.
Where the Brits always call it fish and chips, but the chips are just what we call French fries.
He's there now. Yeah. No, he's not. He's stuck.
I think there's something wrong with the laptop because when I got up to move around, it seemed to come in because we're not cutting in and out. And then I came back down next to the laptop and it started glitching again. You guys are like right now, Copperhead just like pixelated just came back, but you guys are clear and I could hear you guys talking. So I just took the laptop and brought it over to the other side of the room.
Well, now you're
apparently possessed today.
You're kind of skipping this a little bit,
or not, because I can't hear you guys again.
Oh, testing 1, 2.
I bought a new laptop, a new camera, new editing, everything, and then I watched that video today on the big screen, and it was like when I moved, it was all a bit shuttery. And I was like, well, for God's sake, I've wasted all my money. And then I went through the settings in my camera and I had it set on the wrong. I was videoing in like low definition or something. And so, yeah, I've changed all that now. Hopefully the next one's better.
I do everything with mine. I got an Android phone. That's what I do everything with, my Android.
Yeah, that's what I'm with. But I just bought a new one because the other one was stuffed. And this one was meant to have this great camera. Right. But I had it set on like a low definition thing or something, and so now I can actually do it on 4K. I think.
Did you do it on Android or you got an iPhone?
No, Android.
Android's
the way to go.
I guess I'm the only.
I mean, like I said, you can't swap. I can be talking. I can hit the camera. I can turn the video from front to back without having to stop. You can't do that.
No.
Apparently, the camera in it is like the best. It's the best camera on a on a phone that there is. This thing was, but I just had it set in the wrong setting. So I was nearly crying when I watched that video this morning and seeing the footage was a bit jaggery. I was like, oh God's sake, I just spent $4,000 on all this crap and it hasn't freaking done any better. But
I don't know what kind I got. I got mine's not about 3 months old, but it's Android. I'm Android all the way, and everybody's all stuck with iPhones. I think you got you brainwashed because them iPhones are so hard. Androids are easy.
Yeah, it's just what you're used to, I think. So I've always had the Android. So
Yeah.
Well, how much was your Android phone, Stephen?
Mine?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I think the
$800
iPhone that
the
I'm
time I
on,
swapped in.
of course, you know, I'm on an old iPhone. It's an iPhone 11.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a dinosaur considering how they always update them once a year. But it's 3 years old. But the new 14, its videos and stuff are supposed to be way, like better than what anybody's got, or so that they tell you when they're trying to get you to spend $1,400.
Well, I don't know. I know people that makes movies with these things right here. And, you know, and they're good. I know John. Now John's moving now. I think he's working good.
yeah, now we got him.
You know what it was? I got good internet here. I got Bluetooth and or not Bluetooth on
Wi-Fi.
The Blue Wire.
Yeah.
You know, it's fiber optic, so it's usually no problem. But I just went upstairs and the kids had the TV on YouTube and the sound bar on. So I think it was just too many things on the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna try it again.
Now you're downstairs.
You started breaking back up. You're going to have to go
working?
back in the staircase.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back and sit in the living room.
Hold on, I'm going upstairs. Hold on. Get my stuff, see, guys. Hold on. Oh. There's Holly.
Beautiful.
I got to go get her some water. I'll be right back.
I guess I have to
There
sit
we
up
go.
here. It's,
His wife saying, "Go downstairs."
okay, here we are.
I see all that. You got the stockings up. If I got a stocking there, is that?
Tree up.
There you go.
That was the tree that we had in the truck in the parade yesterday.
Welcome to our Christmas version, our Christmas edition of Saturday Night Rumbling. We're gonna sing "Merry Christmas" to everybody.
That's
okay,
right.
y'all ready?
So now, when we have to talk about something, we have to say "twas" instead of "there was."
Twas.
Yeah, "twas the night before the car show."
Yeah.
And
I had a ball last night. Me and him went to the parade over at Murphy, North Carolina. Man, that thing was huge. I mean, you know,
it took an hour and a half to get through it.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
no bigger than Murphy is, man. They had a train. They had a train that he never seen like stuff they had. And then
Yeah, it was really cool. I think my wrist was broken.
I took the Blues Brothers. We had a good time with that. Hey, you know, I did that video. I had y'all do that. I think that's kind of something y'all need to do. Is like I've got, you know, that video I told all y'all to go to, and you know, I did the premiere on it, and I asked everybody to go and do where they could notify me. So I had Copperhead do it in Australia. I got a couple buddies of mine in Texas, California, New York, Florida. I'm trying to think, just all over. I got all these people, you know, because the radio station. So I had them all over, and I said, go and put notify them. So they all did notify me. And then when the video come out, I think because of that broad range of notifications kind of took the analytics different on that.
Okay.
But now, right now, that video, I'm gonna recircle. I'm gonna look right here.
Because when you released it, 30 people all watched it at the start.
Right. Well, and I had everybody all over. Like I said, you had somebody wanting to see it in Australia and Texas and North Carolina, New York. I even think I had a guy in Canada, Florida. I'm just, you know, all over. And they put the notification on it. I'm at 131,900 views right now.
Wow.
Really?
And right now, six. Okay. And I've got real time right here. It's 20 minutes after 6 and 118. Let's see. 1,843 people have watched it in the last 18 minutes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So when you get so big and you need security, which you'll have to hire some young guys. You know, like my knees are too bad to be security for you when you're out, Steve.
Oh no, we're rednecks, man. Rednecks don't need security. Yeah. Yeah.
So that worked. Oh, that's all right. So we do them. We'll try them. Try premieres.
Well, you need to do, okay, I read that thing on the premiere and it says you don't need to do it every single time. You need to do it. And like I did this one on that, we got a museum out here closing. So I thought, okay, that's going to be a big deal because a lot of people want to know about that. So I went out there, went through it, kind of tell them what's going to happen, where they're going to sell them, and showed them some of the cars, and, you know, just went through the spiel. And one of the things is they got the Hooper Trans Am. So I got to tag Burt Reynolds in that. I think that helped a tremendous amount, is tagging Burt Reynolds in that.
Mm-hmm.
But you need, if you had I think the next one I'm going to do is when I get the Cadillac. I got that 89 Cadillac, and I'm going to set a premiere on it when we finally get it painted and all assembled and put back together and everything finished on it, and do a premiere of it coming out of the body shop ready to go.
Did you get it painted?
Well, we started to paint it, but then the paint started lifting, and so we quit. And I reckon you got to wait. This
was it temperature?
No, you got to wait just a little longer than what we're used to with this paint that we're using from CarQuest. So, but it started when we put the second coat on, or when Johnny did, not me. Johnny Aker put the second coat on. It started lifting it, so he stopped. But this paint that we're using, you got to it's curing times just a little bit longer than normal. So,
was it water based?
No. It's base coat, clear coat.
Okay.
Yep.
Because a lot of that water based stuff, I guess it takes a little different to dry than the regular chemical stuff.
It might be. I don't think it's water based. No, we put thinner and all in it, or not thinner, but
them body guys really get mad at me. And of course, Johnny would probably get mad at me for saying this, but now you've got cars out there with 60-year-old paint that's been neglected, not washed for years and everything, and you wash it, and of course they had chemicals in that paint. I realized that was real bad for men to breathe. Right. But it's hard to beat that factory paint. These new paints are wimpy paint. If they get neglected just a little bit, the clear coat's going to peel off and everything. The paint just won't last if it's left out in the elements. Now, if you've got a trailer queen that's going to be indoors all the time, it'll be fine.
Well, I do believe you're right about that, because I think a lot of the stuff that they used back in the 70s and 80s where people died from it, but I think they took a lot of that chemicals out of it, you know. Well, by God, the paint was still there, you know. The guy was, look at that paint job he left us.
A man's only gonna live so long anyway, so you just preserve that car.
Yeah,
you know, it's all about the cars.
Yeah,
freaking mechanic, bugger you spray painters, get in there and use that nasty stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I use a roller on my rat rod. Less overspray.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, I was fixing a rusty spot on my car, and Steven started correcting me. You know, like, you're not doing that right, man. What the crap, man? But
okay, he's got this rust spot. He got it all sanded down, you know, and it's like it looks like a map. You know how a map looks where the rust, and he got like I said, you need to cut that out, dude. And he said, man, Bondo don't rust. And I said, oh, okay, Bondo.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Rusty Bondo?
Like, I've seen it fall out. That ain't gonna last long. Just cut that out. Then Bondo.
Well, I did a little secret that you go to the hardware and get that Osphos, and you put it all over that rust, and then it turns it back into metal, and it stops the rust. And then you can, I filled it with fiberglass, and then got it. I mean, no, is it show quality? No, it's junkyard quality.
Right.
But
well, it won't take 5 minutes to cut that out and put you a little piece of metal in it. I mean, it's not.
I ain't got no good metal. It's all from China, and I'm not putting Chinese metal in.
You ain't come down and cutting none out of my cars, I can tell you that. I don't know. He's right about that. But now I don't know. I'm hung up on navel jelly. That seems like the best stuff to me to possibly use. I don't know if y'all ever use that or not.
I've never used it.
The PR15 works phenomenal.
PR15.
Yeah.
But see what this was like the inner panels that's got surface rust, but ain't, because it was literally what we're talking about. It was down at the bottom of the rocker where them B bodies rust.
Right in front of the wheel.
Yeah, it's where the body seam. Say that quarter panel. If you've got an original type quarter that's, when they very first put the car together, there's a seam at the rocker panel and where the quarter panel goes together, and that's where every one of them 69, and all B bodies rust right there in that same spot. And
Right, can't get in there to do anything to seal it.
no,
The factory.
and so it had about a golf ball size rust hole. Now the inner panels in there, they've got surface rust, but they're not, they're not compromised like that outer panel was.
Right.
And so I just took the little 3M grinder things, and I just ground all the rust out of it on that outer piece, and then I put Osmos on it, and then put fiber, the Bondo with the fiberglass in it. And I just put it, and then sanded it back down. It was only a little spot. It was a spot that I just couldn't stand looking at. Now it's got a couple of little holes in the wheel well, but they don't bother me as bad as what that one spot did. So I'm gonna leave them.
Right.
But I done got it painted and everything.
Well, that'll work. But I wasn't meaning to boss you around a little bit, but I mean, I just trying to get my knowledge, my knowledge of rust.
Well, if it really was going to been fixed right, I would have needed to call AMD and just got the whole quarter. That's what the real professional told me. Just go ahead and get the quarters on it. Then you won't have no body work. You won't see what you done because you're just throwing the whole quarter on. And they're right because because that wraps around into the door, and even when the car's sitting there with the door shut, nobody would ever see. If you goofed that up and didn't make it smooth, nobody would never see it till they open the door.
See, that's where the Blues Brothers car is the best, man. I don't know. Copperhead, are you familiar with the Blues Brothers, that movie?
Yeah. So that's what I watched that movie. Is that the actual same model?
No, mine's a 77 and mine's a Grand Monaco Royale Broham. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Now, are you?
That's a word pool, man. But anyway, the only difference is the front is the headlights, and mine's got
it's the same shape.
Same car from the front of the fenders back is the same. The only difference is the headlights and the grill. And mine's got hideaway headlights and that Dodge don't. But the hood,
noticed that it had the hideaway things.
Yeah, but it's all the same. But I don't care. But that car was beat up, dented up, and rusted up, and we didn't fix anything. We sanded the dents. My boy, he's a body shop. He does body work. And he's like, "You're not gonna fix none of the dents." I said, "Nope, I'm gonna sand them, but I ain't gonna fix them." We painted dents and everything. It's perfect though, man. It's beat up, and it started to rust back.
It wasn't a show car in the movie, was it? It was a beat up old thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, beat up. Had primer.
It was back when they made that movie. Them cars was probably nearly nothing to buy because nobody wanted a 6 mile of the gallon 440 4-door car.
Yeah,
I think they were that car as the shit box the whole movie.
Yeah. That's what they call it.
Piece of shit or something like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy. One of them cars that's a real police car with a 440, they'll bring. If Steven's car was a real 440 police car, it'd be worth 30 grand, 40 grand. They're crazy amount of money, and they're not out there for that. Apparently they wrecked every one of them in that movie because they ain't none out there.
Yeah, my buddy's got a restored one up in New York. My buddy Mark, he's got a couple different cop cars that he's done, and one of them is a I believe it's about that era. I know it's a full size 440 car.
Well, that Monaco's in that year never was very popular. I think about 73 backs where they get pretty popular, and then they dropped them. But everybody loved the Bluesmobile. Of course, you got young kids. They're like, "Oh, that's Barney 5. Oh, that's Barney 5. Are you stupid? Are your kid slow?"
Yeah. Well, that's like when people sees my van. Oh, a Scooby-Doo van. No, I'm not a teenage narc smoking pot.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. That car is, but I don't know. It's a 360 car. We bought it down in Atlanta, beat all the pieces, and just put it together. Yeah. I don't know. My wife don't know about this. Let me see where she's at. But anyway, I bought another station wagon. I bought another Crown Victoria square wagon yesterday.
Does it got wood grain on it?
No, it's one I've been trying to get for years, man. It's crazy. I've been wanting to buy it. You get these cars you see and you just keep trying to buy it. But anyway, there's this guy over there, and John probably knows who I'm talking about. It's got all the Dan Gurney Fords and the Talladega Fords and the Superbirds and all that over in Tennessee. I know.
I've heard of the guy. I've never been over there.
Yeah, but anyway, so he come by here. That we had a brake machine. He come by, and I don't know what he want. You know that brake machine that I had, Sean, that it sands the brakes on rear disc brake, rear drum brakes, you know, and makes them smooth.
Yeah.
Anyway, him and a buddy come by here the other day and bought that from us, and Dylan was there, and Dylan was like, I want to come see the cars. And so we went back over there, but his dad actually is the one that owned these things, but he had this car, and I kept trying to buy it, but now his dad's passed away, and he priced it to me Sunday, and I said, I'll just take it. But it's a 89 Country Square wagon, and I think we looked, best we can tell, it's got about 29,000 miles, original miles on it. But it's been sitting outside, and the paint's burnt off of it, and tires are flat. But
is it just burn off the top side? The sides still look good.
But I want the Huxmobile or whatever it's called, man. That's what I want. That's the whole plan. So I don't know if I'm gonna make this in the Huckster or if I'm gonna make the bandwagon.
Oh, the Truckster, you mean family truckster?
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, family truckster.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want one of them.
Wagon. That was that you got to do the panels with the stacked headlights and everything to do it right.
I'm gonna do all. I don't know about the wood grains. The only thing I can't figure out. There's one guy I found on Facebook that did one, but I don't know how to get the wood grain. I mean, how to get the. You know, you got the wood grain, but then you got the molding that goes around it. I don't know.
That molded, all that would be pretty easy. The wood grain, it's all just a sticker. You've seen the truck. It's at my shop, didn't you?
The what?
Did you not look at that little red miser?
Oh, yeah. The sticker's easy, but what I'm worried about is that board.
All you got to do is just get some aluminum, and then you won't even have to drill holes if you get some of that.
How do you make it rounded? How do you round the curves?
You just cut the thing out of actually, if you could either do it out of wood, because I think the original one was wood actually bolted to the car.
Right.
If you didn't want to drill holes in the car, you could
put Bandelbond.
Take it out of it and just shape it out of, like you said, aluminum or steel would just way too much. But you could even make it out of fiberglass or something, and then just have wrapped in wood vinyl. I
thought about just getting it printed, just print the thing and stick it on the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You can do a 3D type printing. I don't know. Alec can do it up there at Mountain Graphics.
Yeah, just do that and not have to do all that work. And then the front end, the only thing I think I know is right. That side window, you know, they made the side window kind of funky looking on the back rear, and I think that's the rear window of an S10 pickup truck. But I ain't gonna swear to it. But I think that's what they used.
Yeah, but you could do a paint or something to get that. You know, just cover the glass. And leave
I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna do the body shop work. The body work I ain't worried about. Putting that little window in there, that'd be easy. You know that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
Yeah. But nothing to doing like a limousine. You could do it that way. You know, like a limousine always did that. Shrunk the windows with just paneling.
Right. You know? But I think they used the rear window out of an S10 pickup truck. So all you have to do is just cut the back out of an S10 pickup, put it up there, weld it in, then fill the holes and paint it. So I think that'd be cool. Yeah. I'll be the coolest guy in town. I'm feeling cool.
And you got to tie the leash to the back bumper.
Yeah, that's a
big dragging the leash.
Yeah, and wrap a body up on top, man.
We know a guy who actually did that, man. He tied his dog to the bumper of the truck and forgot.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Drove for miles. And
the little fella he probably kept up for 1 or 2 miles.
He said people were yelling at him to stop. He was deaf, didn't know what the heck they were talking about, and he just kept driving, flipping people off, and they yelled at him and just killed his dog.
So let me ask you something. Copperhead, you got that down, and you're down in, and I know nothing. The more I learn about Australia, the less I want to be down there. Y'all have any car shows or anything going on? Because you're in the summertime, right?
Yeah. There was. They had drags on at my town last weekend, but we didn't go. So we got an airstrip in our town, and they had the drags down there. But every now and then, I don't know. I don't like going to events in my own hometown. But what there is coming up in February is they've got this hot rod. All the hot rods do the 8th mile drags at the airstrip.
Right.
And that bad Chad dude's coming to it.
Do what now?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm here. They did the 8th mile drags coming up.
Yeah, and they've got that bad Chad.
Oh yeah.
Coming to it.
Yeah, he's from up there ain't he in Canada?
Yeah, he's in Canada. So he's apparently going to these drags in February in my town. So
well, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a foot in the door. We'll see if we can get him around or something.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that at all. He seemed like a pretty knowledgeable dude. I mean, he don't. He's like me and you. He don't finish much. He gets it started.
I finish him. Come on.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I just got so many on the go.
I know what you mean. I guarantee you that's right. I'm getting closer on that Cadillac. I'll be glad to get it out and get started on the Bronco. But
I bought
What's the
something else
deal?
this week. I bought a Falcon Ute.
oh, that's cool.
Like a 1990 one.
I'm gonna see
So
what that is.
it was like a one owner out in the middle of the country. Like it's not bad. Like as in, and it's not restored or nothing. It's just it's in good nick. No rust and runs good. And
Are they front wheel drives in 90?
no, rear wheel drive, 6-cylinder, straight six. So I'm doing do like one video. It'll be probably a long one, but like from picking it up, will it drive home, and then like giving it a bit of a prissy up. Like so, I'm going to lower it and change the wheels and just make it look like
gonna give it some power?
little presentable car. Pardon?
Are you going to make it have like 3,000 horsepower?
No. I'm not touching the running gear. Like it's just going to be like just pretty it up and make it look nice, presentable little thing to drive around in.
Hey, it's a cool looking car, man. I'm looking at it right now.
Which one?
I'm looking at a 1990 Falcon Ute.
Oh, okay. XF. They're called, yeah.
What is it now?
It's called an XF. That's the model, XF.
XX.
XF.
What liter engine is it factory?
It's a 4.1. So it's I think it's got a 250 crossflow. They call them. I don't know if you have them.
No, we never had any of them good motors like y'all got.
No,
So this isn't the Barras. This isn't the big horsepower ones that they all rave on about. But they're still pretty good.
so now is them pretty high dollar cars?
They're on the rise.
Right.
So I got it fairly cheap, and so I'll make profit on it, like when I clean it all up. But it's just more of another one of these. I sort of try to tap into an Aussie audience with it, but it's more of just to get like an old farmer's car that's stock and
Right.
looks like nothing, and then present it to make it look like a nice little thing to cruise around in, like on the cheap. So it's just another one of my little budget things,
But now, did they make this car also in a station wagon or?
Yeah, they make a sedan, a station wagon, and a panel van.
I'm trying
And
to think.
basically that shape runs from 1980, and they run the ute and the panel van run until like 98 or something.
The tail lights look like they're come out of a Ford Courier to me. Pickup truck. I don't know if y'all have them or not.
No.
Huh. I don't know, man. Utes are so cool down there. We have none here. They have, I got that buddy of mine that Johnny Acre, he built that one out of that Audi, which was a kit, which it turned out super, super nice, man. And of course, we had I've heard they were bringing the Ranchero back. I don't know if there's anything to that or not, but, I always thought that was a good market for them.
I think now is the time to bring back an El Camino Ranchero kind of thing. I think that would be a good thing for the late duty.
Well, that Ford Maverick, they quit taking orders, but that car would sell like crazy if they just get them out there.
Yeah, they ran
And especially at the price point.
Well,
Is it a
we
mute?
not making El Caminos and stuff here is because we ended up doing the mini truck thing. The
Right.
Rangers and stuff. So kind of they cooked out their own market. But I mean, El Camino rode nice, rode like a car.
Well, Toyota's Toyota's what kept that mini truck movement going. Which they was pretty good little old trucks. Them Toyotas was, and of course here, the Ranger, the S10, and of course the Mazda truck was technically tied into Ford.
Yeah.
I found me a Ford. I've been looking for a Ranger GT. I had that one. I want to get me another one back, and I found one over the other day and stopped and checked on it over in Tennessee. And come down. You remember Roger Ledford's daddy had that red GT?
Yeah.
That was it. It's over in Tennessee. He's like, "Oh, we bought that in Hiawassee." And I said, "Well, I'm going to take it back." And he's, "No, it's not for sale." You know how that goes.
Who got the white one?
There was some Mexicans laying rock last I seen it, but it's beat up. That truck, I don't know if it's.
Well, you know, when you got that truck, it had 250,000 miles on it, but
I'll tell
it
you
run like a top.
I had that mower on that worked for me, drove that thing from Blairsville all the way to Hiawassee with no oil in it, 0 oil.
And it didn't blow it up.
Didn't blow it up. We put 5 quarts of oil and kept going. 2.9. I think it's 2.9. That's a good little motor.
Yeah.
Y'all got 2. I'll tell you something y'all got down there that I like. And I don't know what y'all call it, but the little Mercury Capri 75 and 76 Mercury Capri. What do y'all call them down there? Y'all, is it, maybe it's from England.
They just call them Capri, Ford Capri.
Yeah, those little convertibles.
No, not that one. God, no, I got one of them. I ain't talking about that.
Which one?
Maybe it's from England, but I thought it was from Australia.
You're talking about the 74 model, Stephen?
I like the 76.
Oh, the old Capris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they come out with a V6 or something, maybe.
Yeah, they had that. They had the V6 and the 2300, I think.
Yeah. Little 2-door. They're not. We don't have convertible ones though. They're hard tops. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got like a little bit of a, in like the rear quarters, they got like a little bit of a scoopy thing in behind the back doors.
Yeah, and see, you set more like towards the. They're sort of shaped like a.
You see that?
Oh yeah, those are cool.
I think it's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Did you see that one, Stephen, that's on Facebook?
I want a 70. I had a 76 just like this, black with a gold trim. My sister actually had it, and I bought it from her. And it had I think they're 60-degree V6s or 90-degree. The V6s.
Yeah, they call them clone V6 or something like that.
But it's not like a regular V6. They're light and narrow.
Right. That's
what
what I said. They call them clone or something like that.
That thing sounded like a Ferrari when you was in on it. I mean, it's not.
I think that's a little British V6 engine.
Good little motor.
I think generally the ones that are down here have been turned into drag cars, and they've like put big blocks in them and stuff.
That's cool.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of them. If I can find them. You just can't find them. So I don't know, but I know y'all got them down in. Are they pretty high dollar cars in Australia?
They're pretty rare. I know, that's what I was saying. Most of them have been. You don't really see too many. Most of them have been turned into drag cars and stuff.
They was real bad to rust. They would rust pretty bad.
Yeah, there's one on Marketplace actually the other day I looked at, and it was like a full project, and it was a bit rusty and stuff.
Yeah.
And they wanted $10,000, I think, for it.
I think it's the nature of anything from the 70s, that inferior metal that they had, you know.
Well, now, John, you got this thing coming up. I was going to talk about that a little bit this weekend. You got down at that drag strip Sean's always going to, and y'all are. I've never been down there. Where is it at? It's in Calhoun?
Calhoun, Georgia, at 500 Chatsworth Highway in Calhoun, Georgia. It's Paradise Dragway.
Yeah, what's going on down there?
They're doing their Christmas toy drive. It's a show and go, so it's car shows, swap meet, and drags. And it's $10 for spectators, $25 for anything else you want to do there. You know, so if you want to show cars, 25, drag races, 25, vending is 25. And I have not been to their winter one yet, but the regular show and goes they're a lot of fun. You know, sometimes they're packed, other times it's pretty light, but you know, there's always something good happening there. And it's, I don't know, the way I am, if there's drag racing as well as a car show, then it's going to be good, even if it's lousy. You know, because there's something going on.
I've went to that for a few years.
Yeah, the Christmas one.
Yeah, I've been to it, and of course I took my the pink van down there and made passes with it. And then last year I took the Chrysler 300 and made passes with it. And but it's a good little show and swap meet.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. You know, I've gone to, like I said, there are other summer ones and the fall ones and stuff, but I honestly haven't been down to their track in probably a good year, and it kills me. That's my favorite track. I think I keep saying it's the best, worst track I've been to.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be on it with a super fast car because of the guardrails.
Yeah.
You know, because if you've got a car that does 150 mile an hour and you hit the guardrail, you're you know, the odds are of you walking away is not good.
Yeah. I know they hit the guardrail and had a tree.
When you pull up the driveway itself actually turns into the drag strip.
Yeah.
Drive up and then up into the drag strip. But it's and that used to be a 1/4 mile track, so they shortened it to a 1/8 mile for insurance reasons, and which was just as well because after the 1/8 mile mark, it goes uphill, so it's got a great natural slowdown area because of the way it goes uphill. And I took my wife's car down it. I guess that was last year. But most of the time we just went up there. I mean, they would do like one of the things I think is kind of cool is before they start the race, it's like tradition. They have a couple cars go down holding American flags. They do the national anthem, and then they have everybody make passes. You know, just anybody that's in the show or in the drags just drives down the track. You know, then some people get on it a little bit and stuff, but it's not real drag racing. They're just one after the other. They claim they're warming the asphalt, but I think it's just a cool little tradition they do. And, you know, I brought my students there one year when my first year teaching. I did a field trip down there for one of their events, and you know, it's just a neat little throwback track, man. It's just you know, I remember the first time I went there, I brought my dad, and he just had knee surgery, and my mom wanted him to get out of the house, and I wanted him to go with me, and he didn't want to go. So I said, look, I said, at the time I had a custom Silverado. I said, I could set the truck at any height you want. It had air ride in it. And I said, I can get you in and out of the truck easy. It was a 3-door deal. So, you know, you could open up like suicide doors in the rear. So there's plenty of room for you to get in and out. I said, I got air conditioning. It's comfortable. Your knee's going to be fine. So all the way down, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this. We pull up that driveway and we get up to pay, and we're parked on the hill paying the attendant. And a small block front engine dragster goes this way and crosses with a Model A with a Hemi with 6 carburetors on it. And it was like, oh man, this is just cool. You know, my dad was like, hey, he goes, and you know, the tower is just this little box on a post, and it's a vertical ladder to get up inside it. And there's a couple lawn chairs set up in there, so you can, you know, the people watching the track, and you know, it's just really cool because it's just a neat old track. Otto, the guy, old man Otto, he passed away a few years ago, but he's the one that started the track back in '63, and it's literally in their backyard. You know, the one house is the Sunset driveway across the other side of the White House. And the attendant, the track, you know, the one.
There you go, Stephen. That's that car I was telling you about. It's down there and just a little below Gainesville.
That's it, but I don't want an orange car. It look like a pumpkin going down the road.
That's all right.
I like that's a lot. But yeah, that so that show is, I think it goes, if I remember right, like starts like 10-ish, if I remember right. I could be wrong on the time, but if you go to their Facebook page or the website, it'll be on there. And
but they have a car show, right? They have a car show.
Yeah, they got a car show, swap meet, and drag racing.
Yeah,
right.
And
I've never been.
Dave Finnegan's going to be there to pick one of his favorite cars for the show. And I used to go there a lot for the nostalgia drags that they used to host. It's just a cool track, man. It's just real retro. You know, it's it'd be a great spot to do a big nostalgia event just because of the way it looks. You know, you take a picture, and if there's not a new car in sight, you wouldn't know what year that picture was taken. You know,
whenever I went there last year, now the van I didn't really check, but I had the little bitty 4-inch wheels on the front of that 300, and I know that I was technically car was overweight. You know, the tires was overloaded, and so I walked that track. I combed that track before I got out on it, before they started running, and you would not believe the nuts and bolts and stuff that was down there towards the finish line.
Yeah, but that's good for traction, man. That helps track.
Well, that's the fastest part of the track, you know, and something like that to go through tire quick. And, you know, of course, that 300, I mean, it's valuable to me, more valuable than, and I didn't want that car to be hurt. So I made sure that I went from the start line all the way to the finish, both lanes, and made sure that there wasn't nothing on that track before I got out on it. And it was unreal, the stuff. Of course, I posted a picture of the handful of nuts and bolts and scrap metal and everything that I got off that track. But it's a cool little venue. There ain't no doubt. And there's a lot of cars that's running that, you know, especially now that that after they closed, you know, Atlanta Dragway and they're tearing it down.
Yeah, it's gone.
You know, there's a lot of people coming up there now, and you better make sure you get there a couple hours before that. You know, last year when I went, I got there probably I'm going to say I got there just as the gate, about an hour before the gates opened, and people was done lined out in the highway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's if you're an early riser like me now, if you come dragging in late, you'll be able to get in, but you won't.
I'm usually up by 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I'm thinking about going. Are y'all going?
yeah, I'd like to. I don't know. Liberty said she might take off of work to go down there and check it out.
Wait a minute. Copperhead's got a dang shirt. I want a shirt, man.
I've got you a couple of t-shirts.
Yeah, I want a t-shirt, man.
You got a little. I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to say you got a little. I got you a little present coming. I just got to take it to the post office. It's all packaged up.
All right, well, I feel guilty now. We got to send you
I
something.
got you Vegemite, and I got you a coffee mug and a t-shirt, and I don't know. I think I was giving you all a number plate.
Okay, well, I'll say I got some tickets to ZZ Top. I'll send you tickets to ZZ Top over here.
Yeah, that concert's already done come and went, Steve.
Well, I still got a couple of tickets left over. He can't come anyway. You'll never know.
Did you sure enough have tickets to that?
Wow.
show?
So I'll pick your size. There's three. I've done 3 different size t-shirts. So I don't know. We'll see how good I am at picking you because the sizes are out, like compared to, like they're like a small size. So I've gone, right, we'll go these 3 and we'll see if
I hope you
you
got the
can
I'm the biggest size you can get.
If they come and they don't fit, I'll be sitting here in a belly shirt.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
think
got one of them belly button rings, but you can't see it 'cause it's way off down in there,
Are you sending some Vegemite with it?
No,
a little jar of Vegemite each, a coffee mug each, a t-shirt each, and a Queensland number plate each.
That'll be
work.
cool.
That's cool. I feel guilty now. I'm gonna get my. You can't send anything.
Now, is it going to Stephen? Is Stephen going to get it all, or is it one package?
Yeah, I'm going to send it. I've got his address. I'm sending it all to Stephen, and then he can get it out of you.
Steve,
That way, when we get ready to send you something, we'll have your address.
Yeah, we
I
can
just-
do it.
Yeah.
I got it all. We
shirts and
can
design. I'll be making t-shirts again too.
We need to do
I
something.
was going to send you a bottle of my moonshine, like not mine, but I've looked into it. I can't get it in there, but he sells it in America.
Right.
So I'm going to speak to him to see if he can actually get one of my labels put on to send it to you, like locally.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's got a company called Methanol Moonshine. It's a Speedway related, and you can get your own labels done up, like for a fee. And so we've had our own labels done when we were racing, and so yeah.
Did you run methanol whenever you raced?
Yeah.
That'd be John's.
Yeah.
So that methanol burns pretty quick, don't it?
Yeah. But we were doing, I don't know, 2.5 liters a lap.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've got the website, Methanol Moonshine, made from the land down under.
Yeah. So he's probably one of the most famous Speedway commentators. But we met him and through racing, and he's a real good photographer. So he did photo shoots of us and everything, and me and the missus with the cars and stuff like that. And then he started that company, and I hit him up and got him to make us some labels.
Well, that's cool.
So I was trying to send you one of them. But I've never even opened it, so I wouldn't know.
Well, that's the thing. I tried to send you some down there, and they said ain't no way. It'll make it to customs, and all the custom guys will break into the moonshine and get drunk. So that's what they say. That's how far they make it. Honestly, that's what they say happens.
We got a bunch of stuff I'll be able to send you. I got keychains and t-shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't make moonshine, but I'm gonna see if I make something else.
Have you ever been to the United States, Copperhead?
Oh, I think he's losing out. He's driving down the road. He's had good service up to now.
Oh no, we're good now, I think.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
So
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I don't know if you guys can see these.
Oh, Big John.
Big John's.
Yep.
Fish. I see assholes.
Big John's fish assholes in a thick red sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
These are genuine sourced from the Hiawassee.
That'd be good.
I made these back. It says caught fresh with the by the fellas down by the TVA Dam in Western North Carolina, and canned before the pucker factor wears off by Aunt Ma and Uncle Pa. These little gems trap the distinctive flavor of the mountain lakes. They're sure to keep your dinner guest asking, "What the heck are you feeding us?" each time they're served. Stuff on
I've
there,
never heard of that stuff.
but genuine Big John's fish assholes.
There you go. You can't wait. Can't wait. I don't know. I'm gonna try to go next Saturday down there to that sale. I mean that thing. I've never been. I'd like to go down. Depending on what the
Yeah, we
weather.
can go down together if you want, man. It's I'll probably take the little red truck. It seems to be running pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bluesmobile. I think if I can hold it in the road.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll have to meet up or something. Like maybe we can meet up at I don't know. I usually go down Spur 60 and then pick up, go down through Blue Ridge. So we could always meet someplace in Blue Ridge or something.
There you go.
And cruise on down.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
keep up with me or
I
not.
reckon what I'll take this year, and I'll make passes. I ain't worried about the show part. I just want to take but I'm going to drive the Yellow Submarine. Is what my plans was.
Well,
Just drive, make passes with it.
I don't know if I can. I mean, they laugh at me if I make a pass in the Bluesmobile.
No.
Like 54 mile an hour and an eighth.
No.
I don't know if it do 54 mile an hour and an eighth. Might be 33.
I'd like to run the little red truck, but I want to break the motor in good first,
Oh, come on. It's ready to go. Look at it.
You break it in wide open.
Yeah, I'm with Copperhead. Break it in like a man, son.
Yeah, that's what we used to do racing. We do one lap at like 3/4 throttle, and then that's it, wide open. If it's not,
Let her eat.
not holding together, then you did it wrong.
Yeah, I think it broke in last night in that hour and a half idling in traffic with that parade. It's but I do have a slate pan leak I got to take care of before I can get on the track with it.
How many miles have you got on it so far?
I don't know. I don't have a speedometer. Maybe probably only 30.
Yeah, so
It's still pretty fresh, And there's a couple other little things I want to do. I pulled the plugs today, and they were running super clean. So actually, I think I got to richen the carbs up a little bit, and just want to make sure everything's right before you take it down there.
I'd probably change the oil filter and add to it before I went on that trip.
I might. It's there's not going to be too much material in the pan because it's one full roller this time. So there's
Did you?
Yeah,
How much machining did you have done though on the
Just
block
had
and stuff?
I honed it, put a new set of rings in it, and all new bearings, new cam bearings, and
Well, then it should be pretty clean, and it ain't gonna have much stuff in it. Then is it?
yeah. The oil is so it's hard to check on the dipstick right now.
Yeah. That 440 that I've got. Of course, I've got it in the car now, but don't have no transmission. I had to order a new bell housing, but it's got. I put one of them Milodon pans on it, and I'm gonna have to make sure that I keep that front end jack way up with some big tires because that pan hangs down way below the K member. Mm-hmm. Steven was talking about knocking one of his off.
I did that. No kidding, man. I went down to Cookies. I don't know if you know down on Warren down there with Randy. You know Randy Cook?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was heading down to his house in that little Barracuda, and it had, they added about 4 inches to the oil pan on that thing, on that little Barracuda, that 340. And that road down there is rough as a cob. And I bottomed that thing out. Man, I just cut a gash in the oil pan, and there I was.
Yeah.
That car was constantly tore up on you, was it not?
Well, it wasn't the car part. And it wasn't its fault, because when you're 16 years old and you got a 4-speed and you got a 340 and you think that it'll outrun any car out there, and you're constant, I don't care if they looked at me sideways, I was racing them. I didn't give a rip.
If it was the sheriff, huh?
I didn't care. I raced him. That was just fun. I won or not, I didn't care. I just went. God, I was over at Blairsville one time. Now, how many miles is it to Blairsville? I don't know. It ain't that far, but
probably 13 from your house, 12,
13, 14 miles from Blairsville. I was over yay hauling around in a 80 Dodge Mirada and tore the rear end out of that thing. And all it would do, it would go forward and lock. And you could back up a little bit and it'd free up, and then you could go by another 20 feet and it'd lock. But you could back all you wanted to. It didn't bother the rear end at all. And I backed that sucker from Blairsville all the way to Hiawassee, man. Them little rear engine, them thing wasn't much anyway. But yeah, I kept
How
it
did your
tore up.
neck feel by the time you got home?
I just got to where I got to where I just backed with the mirror, man. I'd look on this side and then I'd look on that side, you know, which way I went. But
I had a
that's the way he did it.
station wagon with flames, and it was my birthday. We went up to this bridge up in it was the Rexley Bridge up in Cambridge, New York, and the locals would kick the side out of the bridge so many times. It was a covered bridge. The locals kicked the side of it so many times that the town put a door in it so people could jump off it. And you weren't supposed to. If you got caught, you'd get a fine, so they said. So we went up there, and it was me, my dad, and I think there was like 5 or 6 of us in the car, plus a inflatable raft and coolers and everything. And I just got the car back together, and I was leaving, and I revved it up to dump the clutch, and I let the clutch out, and it shocked the rear end, and the car didn't break. It chirped the tire, and then it popped the trim ring and hubcap off, and the trim ring fell down. The hubcap danced inside it and stayed there. And my buddy laughed. I was like, "That's it." So I got out, threw it in the car, fired up, revved it up. Just before my dad said no, I snapped the clutch out like $4,000. Wow! Boom! Blew every hitter except for 2 out of the rear end, and it was just enough. Hair on one side and one on the other would just spool up and limp me off the road. And I had to sit in the back of my buddy's Chrysler LeBaron with no rear seat and a stinky dog and drive all the way back all the way
Stinky dog.
car on my birthday. So I get home and it had 373 gears in it when I blew the rear. So it wasn't a posi, so I didn't care if I blew the rear end up. But I got home and I had a rear end out of a 67 Le Mans. So I threw that in there, and it was a 292 ratio, if I remember right. And had a 4-speed with a 28-inch tire. And on the way to school the next day, I was passing everybody. On the way home, I'm passing everybody, and I didn't have a speedometer in the car. And I'm passing everybody. Man, everybody's driving slow on this road, and I'm passing everybody on the highway. And that weekend we go out, and I'm driving down the road, and I said to my friend, I said, when we pull up next to this Lincoln, it had an electronic, speedo. I said, see if you can see how fast we're going. And I pull up next to him, and she looks out. She goes, we're doing 70. And I was like, no wonder I thought everybody was driving slow. I was just cruising at like $2,000 and all tire on it, and those gears. The thing was just mile an hour, like you wouldn't believe. So it was a dog.
That's the way I like them, man. I like them just get out there and roll.
Stephen likes the Bonneville salt flat gear.
Yeah, I do, man. I'm not kidding.
I mean, from my hometown of Averill Park, New York, which is up by the Albany area, all the way down to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, on 1 tank of gas.
Yeah.
And the thing was like 20-something miles to the gallon with a 350.
Overdrive.
Yeah, y'all like them low rear ends, but man, how often do you run 1/8 of a mile, man? I mean,
Yeah.
I just
We're running this weekend 1/8 of a mile.
Driveway.
There you
Do
go.
what, Sean?
We'll be running this weekend 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but my car ain't geared for that. My car is geared for 2.5 miles.
Well, all you got to do is like when I took the 300.
Eighth of a mile, still in first gear in eighth of a mile, isn't it?
Yeah, of course my 300 will do 75 mile an hour in the 8th in low gear.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was running last year. I can't remember the time, but now.
Yeah, my rat rod's geared good because I got a 29-inch tire on the back, and then with the overdrive, the 411 gears is $2,000 is like 68 miles an hour. So,
How about the salt flats, man? That's someplace I'd love to go. And they say they're having a little bit of issues with the salt right now out there. But
yeah, it flooded. They had a hell of a storm last race they had, so they got to do a lot to keep that salt there now. It's I'd like to get out there one of these days.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that.
If a man went out there, he'd need to be in a motorhome because I reckon it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I also heard that if you wear shorts, you better put suntan lotion where you normally don't have to because it bounces off the salt and goes up your shorts.
Really?
Burns
Would
your-
that be good?
Well, I don't never wear shorts.
I wear shorts all the time, man. I wear them as long as I can. I ain't kidding.
And as soon as school's out, it's shorts until school's in session again.
Oh, I wear them right up to. They make fun of me at the bus garage because I'll come in with a coat on wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Well, you got pretty little legs, man. I don't know why not.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, little chicken legs.
That-
It don't matter.
Hey, I've got a serious question.
All right. Wait a minute.
You know
Wait a
how
minute.
that
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're
that
all
little
married. Just remember that.
Hey?
I said we're all married. Just remember that before you ask the
Yeah,
question.
no. That little Suzuki over here is called a repairable write-off, right? Which is because the
Salvage.
insurance company's written it off, so it has to be inspected before it can be re-registered. Yeah, and then
Yes.
they also have statutory write-offs, which can never go back on the road. So they're like parts cars, or you got to ship them overseas.
That's what we call them derelicts here. Derelicts is
Right. So do you have that? What happens like the repairable? Do you have the repairable ones?
yes, we
Yes.
They
do.
call them salvage titles here.
Right. So the salvage titles, do they go in? Do they have to be inspected?
Yes.
Yes.
Like they inspect your work, everything?
Yeah, and you also got to have what I did. I built a police car here a couple of years ago, and it was a 2008 Charger, and I bought one that had a blowed up motor in it. It was a rough car, and I got on Copart, and they had one down here at Gainesville or wherever it's at, but they had one that had a front end collision. It had deployed the airbag. And whenever I got down there to pick it up, it was actually a North Carolina trooper car.
Mhm.
And the car was in way better shape, even though it had the airbags deployed. So I just took the dash and stuff out of the car with a blowed up motor that was so rough. I just took the dash and all that stuff and fixed the car. And whenever they come out and inspected it, because they want you to have receipts
Yeah.
for the
Same.
parts. But
The
in my
proof they're not
case,
sold.
where I used the parts off the other car, I had the title to that other car, so he was able to. He had a computer and he entered it that VIN off of that one that I took parts, and they made it a parts car, And then I got the one funny thing about after we've got what they call ad valorem tax when you buy a car here in Georgia, and if you have a salvage title car. If you buy one, let's say that it's an existing Georgia title and it's salvage, but you do not have to pay ad valorem tax on it because the state considers that car worthless.
No kidding.
Well, now
Yeah.
one thing I do know that I think I understand that if you rebuild a car, you have to have I think you have to have a builder's license now. I think they've changed a lot of that on the laws, but I might be wrong.
The reason I'm asking is I've been watching these other dudes on YouTube, and like they're just doing dodgy shit. Like there's one that's bought something that's mashed in the back, and it's in behind the bumper bar,
right,
where it's caved in, right? And it's like that's a drill that panel off, like to do it properly. It's a drill it off. Pull all the boot floor, weld a new piece back on, right? And they're not even fixing it. They're just putting a bumper bar over the top.
just
Wow.
covering it up.
Wow.
Just
Well,
covering it up.
And that's in
And I'm
America,
like,
right?
I'm actually I got real dirty about it because it's like they're teaching people it's like the wrong way of doing it. That's why I was asking if these things have to be inspected. Or
They
maybe
basically here in the state of Georgia, the guy that inspected my stuff, he did look in there to see what I did, and I changed the bumper. I gave him a list of everything that I switched from the one car to the other. And them Chargers, they got a bumper behind the bumper cover that you can just simply unbolt. And of course, I switched. I did like you. I made sure everything was right. It can't have a check engine light on. It can't have an ABS light on. None of them lights can be on. Of course,
we're the exact same. Everything has to be paperwork trail, and the car basically has to be mint. Like
right.
Well, now,
proper repair,
I think if you cut one in two, I think they have to be inspected. They used to, I don't know if they still do that or not, but they used to cut them in two. And I think once you get them cut in two and welded back together, they have to come out and inspect before you put the car back together.
I think
Every state, some states will do salvage titles, some states will do rebuildable, other ones have it where it's not rebuildable.
That's derelict.
So it's really what I noticed is a lot of differences in states. North Carolina is a real stickler when it comes to that kind of stuff, and they're real strict on that. But some of the other states, there's some states that won't, and I forget which states don't mark things salvage, or once they're fixed, the salvage goes away, and that becomes like a sticking point with like flood cars and stuff out of storm ravaged areas. They'll take a bunch of that stuff and send them up and clean them up, and everything looks fine. But the salt water got into everything, and because they washed the title, you can't tell that it was ever underwater, and then all of a sudden you have all these electric
These guys are in Oklahoma.
Yeah. If like in Georgia, if I go to North Carolina and buy a car that's got a salvage title and it says salvage, that it's been repaired anyway, it could be North Carolina may have inspected it and signed off, but if I buy that car and bring it, I got to get it re-inspected by the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
They will not issue a title until it's been inspected.
It's the same thing here. Liberty's Corvette, North Carolina takes it even farther. Liberty's Corvette, I bought it from a guy that was like just a small time dealer. He'd buy one car and keep it for a bit and sell it. And he had a dealer's license that he'd sell cars through. And he told me he had a clear title. And we went and bought the car, and it was a clear title from the auction house that he bought the car from. So because from an auction house that dealt with salvage cars, even though her title on her car was clear, they still had to inspect it.
Right.
And so before they could title it here in North Carolina, they had the state inspector at it. He says, "Yeah," he goes, "these Corvettes are always salvage." He says, "So he goes, that's pretty normal for these." And then he runs it through, and he goes, "Wow, this one's actually clear." He goes, "You got lucky."
Well, let me ask you this question now: if you got a salvage title and you wreck that car, it's totaled automatically. Is that not right? That's the way I understand it.
I don't know. It's
and it cannot be. It'll be derelict from now. We call it derelict here, where it's if it's derelict, it's parts cars.
So once it's been wrecked and it basically have one more chance to fix it again. And then
I don't think so. I think if you got a salvage title and it is wrecked, I think that's the end of it. It's over with.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The big thing for the past couple of years with this COVID, where they didn't have parts to fix cars, they've been totaling cars out that just needed a fender.
Yes.
Stuff because parts.
Massachusetts real strict on that. It was the guy we used to get furniture from. He was always fixing cars on the side. He bought a van. It was a Chevy van with, I think, it had like 15,000 miles on it. It hit a pole in a parking lot, bent the bumper, took the grill, and bent the sway bar, and didn't even do any other damage. And it was a hollow sway bar. So he got all that stuff, and it was a salvage car, a salvage van when he got it. It was like cost $1,500 to fix it.
Oh.
It was back on the road, and they came out and they gave him a hard time because they wanted to see receipts for the airbags. He said the airbags were never deployed. Well, it was marked salvage, so I had to have airbag deployed. He said no. He said the insurance companies up in Massachusetts just total everything, and he had to go round and round because they weren't going to let him get a title for the car because the airbags were not replaced, and you had to have a receipt because at the time stealing airbags was a big deal, and so he went round and round. I forget what he ended up having to do to get that cleared, but they never had an airbag go off, and they still. They gave him a hard time about it.
Well, we built a lot of cars back when I was in the car business. We built a lot of cars, and there was actually a place that you could buy that give you the airbag cover to bolt back on your car. You didn't have to put the airbag back in it. You just put the cover back on the dash. Yeah. I don't know how legal that was, and we never did it because I always figured if somebody got in a wreck, they'd come back on me because they didn't have an airbag,
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had the thing you just cover right up, and there you go. But I don't know. That little car is a lot of. I think the laws are about the same as far as that goes on the derelict stuff and that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Stephen,
you're supposed to get your car inspected. How long is it going to take? It's like a month or 2 months or something. How long are you going to be out?
It's end of February before I can get an inspection date.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Good God.
There's so many of them like getting done. Yeah. And people, so now it's like, so people, when they buy them, so before I used to have like a little circle going, so it wouldn't have bothered, because I would have had 10 or 20 in my little circle going around. Like, so I just used to like fix them and then go store them. But when I bought them, I'd pretty much book it in straight away. But this is just one I've had sitting around the yard for a few years, and I thought, I'll get onto it. And then, like, I didn't even check to see how long it was going to take to book it in,
Right.
I should have, I booked it in when I first thought about I was going to fix it. It would have been a lot better. But, yeah, I booked it. I looked it up yesterday, and it was the end of February. And then I'm like, I don't even want to finish this stupid thing now, but I've got to for the video.
Yeah. But you can't drive it till then.
No, not really. I've got a dealer's plate, so
Yeah.
I can shove that on and take it for a drive. But yeah, it can't be registered or sold or anything until
Yeah.
There ain't no
until
sense
it's
in
been
worrying.
inspected.
There ain't no sense in worrying about that battery that won't hold a charge until 2 months either,
Yeah.
is there?
Mm. I don't
No,
know.
that's right. So there's no point doing that. There's no point giving it a polish or anything because it's going to be filthy by then. So
It looks like it'll be a good little car for somebody.
yeah, they go like I'll go over them pretty good. Like I know them. I know those cars like the back of my hand. Like there's hundreds. I've done hundreds of those Swifts, so it's pretty much near on perfect now. Like
Yeah.
Well, that's easy when you fix one car and stick with it, because
Yeah.
yeah, that was my thing. That was my little business like plan thing that I did is do one car and then you know it so well and so you know all its quirks and like there's certain things on that I just do whether it needs it or not religiously because I know that if it hasn't failed it's gonna and then you buy parts cars so you've got an endless supply. So in the back shed like there's shelves and shelves and shelves full of those Swift parts. Like I've got enough. I'll probably do another 30 of them with all the parts that are out there. Like so, so it just ends up so much cheaper. So like all the parts I put into that car, they didn't cost me anything because they were just on the shelf, like the carpet and seats and steering wheel airbags and all this stuff that I replaced. I just had it all in stock.
Right.
Makes it easy.
All right, fellas. We're supposed to stay for an hour. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. But anyway, Saturday, I'm going to try my best to get down there. What's it called? What's the name of that place?
Paradise Dragway.
And you said who's going to be down there?
Finnegan's supposed to be down there from Roadkill and Faster with Finnegan. He's going to be picking up his favorite car from the car show. And they usually they filmed a couple of their episodes down there and stuff. So they pretty much a local boy,
Yeah,
he kind of calls that his home track now, don't he?
Yeah. That's the one I consider my home track too.
Well, he bought that yellow, the little yellow Firebird that he built that he's got came from that track.
Yeah, I remember sat in the carport there.
Well, my home track is Tri-County Speedway, the dirt track down here where we go in circles. We don't do none of that sissy 8th mile stuff. We actually have to turn the wheel.
Well, if things get out of sorts, we got to turn the wheel too.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry.
That's why you got that. What's that called? Ash fish, but
yeah, we don't use the terms at the drag strip. Rubbins racing.
Yeah, a bunch of sissies.
Yeah. You do 12 seconds in a straight line. Yeah, we do that on dirt going around a circle.
My temperament wouldn't allow me to run the dirt track because if somebody deliberately did something to me on the track and I couldn't get back out of them, the next time I seen them out on the public road, I'd take it out there.
Oh, I love it. That's the best part about racing.
Why'd you hit him, sir? Because he spun me out last weekend. That's just the way I'd be, I couldn't help it.
All right, fellas, we'll do this again next weekend. Hopefully we'll get an update of what's going on and y'all get another video, work on that. Like I said, that video that I uploaded that did that premiere on, if you get one, then everybody does a notification on it. If you do a good one, like I said, build up, do a good one, some kind of a, like if you got your Thunderbird or you got that truck, do a reveal on that. See if we can't get your analytics up on that because this video's gone crazy, man. Since we're talking, I'm at 137,840 views. So that's quite a bit since we've been here.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to do one of them like that whenever I reveal the final complete satellite.
Yeah, that's what you get
that
to do.
Tunnel around and everything.
Okay, I'm looking right here. My estimated revenue is 37 cents. Boy, I'm in the money now.
Yeah.
Almost a hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna buy your Christmas present with that.
That's some bubble gum there, ain't it?
Yeah, man. Most money I made.
I put a bunch of shorts on from the parade yesterday, and I put them on today, and I picked up a whole bunch of subscribers today. It was kind of trying to think what I was at. I think I picked up almost 15 subscribers. Yeah, about 15 subscribers today.
I shared that one that y'all took of the Bluesmobile and put it on my Facebook page.
Yeah, that's my mom or my wife shot. No, my wife shot that one.
Yeah, so I don't know how that helps, but anyway, I always try to go to y'all's channel and like them and
me too,
all that, and comment. Definitely
yeah,
comment. Yeah, I think comment helps, even if you just say something stupid, just to.
Yeah, even if it's just a thumbs up, like in the comments, it all helps. Their analytics apparently. So.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, man. I gotta get ready. I gotta drive a school bus in the morning.
Just thought that was crazy. Your snake in the car.
Yeah.
Showed my students that video. They were blown away.
Yeah, that was legit. That wasn't a fakie. That was a legit.
Yeah, they could tell by your reaction. They were like, because he says freaking a lot.
Yeah.
So that's his car. It was.
Well, that's like down there. Now, cuss words down there is different. Like bloody, that's a bad word down there. Is that not right?
Nah.
So is it the same thing we got, like body fluids and junk like that?
Well, I say bloody hell. Like it's like kind of like a curse word, but not a curse word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Things are, but anyway. All right. Well, always good to talk to y'all.
Sounds good, guys.
All right,
Stay
be good.
Easy.
See you Saturday.
Saying.
See you Saturday.